Hey gang, Jake here. Still trying to think of a decent intro to literally any video I do. Fraymakers is a really neat concept for a game, and it's very clearly one that's important in my viewer base. Considering that my two Fraymakers videos, which I'd say are two of my lowest effort videos ever, are far and away my most viewed. I won't lie, that makes me a little bummed, but that's not to say I can't spin it into something positive. Over my years as a Smash fan, I'd like to imagine I've gotten pretty good at talking about it, and over my years as an indie game fan, I'd say I've gotten almost good at playing them. Because of that, and the fact that we like Fraymakers on this channel, I figured I'd give this content spotlight format a shot. Whether this becomes a series or not is far from certain, but I say it's at least worth experimenting with. So without further ado, let's get into it. Roguelites, while a tad bit tired, are a massive staple in the indie scene. I'd argue they're one of the foundational genres carrying the scene, alongside like platformers and RPGs. There's been some popular ones, everything from Downwell to Crypt of the Necrodancer to Enter the Gungeon, but I don't think I've ever seen one explode in popularity like Hades has. This game is massive right now, and I've honestly been really surprised by how little people talk about Zagreus for Fraymakers. Like, sure, I get that we've got two roguelite characters already, but Hades is still huge. Why don't more people want him? Personally, I think it boils down to deciding on what he'd do. How do you represent the 6 different weapons, the boon system, the keepsakes, the chaos systems, and Zagreus' inherent personality all in one character? Personally, I'm not so sure it's possible. However, it still seems fun to try, so without further ado, here's what I'd do with Hades content in Fraymakers. Side note, pretty much everything I'm about to say could also apply to Smash Bros, so if you've been thinking about Zagreus' potential for that, here's this still. I feel the best place to start with this would be Zagreus' down special, Contact. Under Zagreus' assist meter on his UI is a meter that fills up via reception of and delivery of damage. Upon building this meter up to a certain degree, Zagreus can contact one of the gods in the game, each providing a different effect. The meter is split into 4 sections. With the more sections you have filled, the better gods you can convene with. With one section filled, you can receive a defense buff from Aphrodite, which slightly decreases the damage you take, or a knockback buff from Poseidon, who uses the ocean's natural push and pull to make attacks push opponents further away. At 2 sections, you can get benefits from Hermes, which slightly increases your movement speed, or from Artemis, which improves Zagreus' aim by increasing his hitbox sizes. At 3 sections, you can get boosts from Ares, which gives your attacks a minor bleed effects, and Zeus, which increases the hit stun your attacks cause. Lastly, at 4 sections, you can get Dionysus, which makes your smash attacks temporarily reverse the opponent's controls, or from Athena, which turns the smash attacks into reflectors. This move functions similarly to Weltaro's super in Indie Pogo, in that it makes Zagreus fairly meh in the early game, but horrifying given enough time, which is, in my humble opinion, a perfect representation of roguelikes as a genre. For the up special, I would use Rising Cutter, Malfor's strong attack. Essentially, Zagreus just performs a Shoryuken, which has a wide hitbox and deals decent damage, but struggles as a recovery tool. I love it when fighting game characters have Shoryukens, especially when they shouldn't. For the side special, I would use Bull Rush. Zagreus charges up and releases a massive rush with Aegis, which has a huge hitbox and deals solid damage, as well as giving Zagreus super armor for the duration of the attack. However, it takes quite a bit of time to charge up, so it can be pretty risky. Think of it like Byleth's Fail Not. For the neutral special, I would use Cast. Zagreus throws out a mid-range projectile with a small hitbox, which doesn't deal much damage but grants a powerful benefit. Whoever gets hit with this is temporarily pinned down with the Bloodstone, and they can take increased damage from all of Zagreus' attacks. Now, in Hades, Zag can have up to 3 of these, but since the resource management on this character is already so far ahead of what's expected, he'll only use 1, and it'll be noted over the head of the victim when it's stuck. For Zagreus' down smash, I would use Nova Smash, his strong attack with Stygius. Zagreus stabs the sword downwards in a slamming motion, which creates a small shockwave both ways. For the up smash, I would use Bombard. Exegriff's strong attack. Zagreus reloads Exegriff in the animation before pointing it upwards and firing a powerful short-range grenade shot. This deals pretty heavy damage and has capable kill power, but it takes a long time to charge up. For the side smash, Zagreus uses his spin attack with Varatha. For this, he'll enter an animation similar to the spin attack's charge, but he'll only swing the spear in a semicircle. It doesn't go the full range. For the down air, Zagreus will swing Aegis downwards in an animation similar to his bash attack. It's quick and it's wide, but it doesn't have much range. For the up aerial, Zagreus just pokes Varatha upwards in an animation similar to his attack with the spear. It's a slim hitbox, but it's long. For the forward aerial, Zagreus doesn't really have a move like this in Hades, but I figure a haymaker with Malfor, Mario style, would look pretty cool. It's a small hitbox, but it'll spike, and it's super mean for ending stocks. For Zagreus' back air, he'll swing Stygius downwards, similar to the animation for the second attack in his standard Stygius combo. That was a lot of S's. For the neutral air, Zagreus will fire off a quick but short-ranged and weak shot from Coronacht, the heart-seeking bow. For Zagreus' tilts, they'll all just be variations of sword swings with Stygius. I wanted more representation for the sword since it wasn't showing up in a lot of moves, despite being the standard weapon in Zagreus' arsenal and most of the marketing material. For Zagreus' throws, I had to get a little creative, but essentially it'll be a variation of Skewer. He'll place you in the path of Varatha, his spear, before throwing that through you and across the stage. After that, he'll recall the spear, but you'll be left where you land. The spear doesn't deal any damage upon return, and it's a very long animation, but it does have quite a bit of distance. For the Pummel, Zag fires off an extended variant of his Pummel attack with Malfor, concluding in his dash strike. For the dash attack, Zag dashes forward and jabs with Stygius, delivering a quick stinger-like attack. It doesn't deal much damage, but it's great for causing hit stun. And for the jab, Zag simply uses his standard strike with the spear weapon. It's quick and slightly weak, but it's got really good range. For the super move, I wanted to go with one of the calls, but since none of them are super powerful like super move level, I had to kinda improvise. Zagreus calls upon the power of Zeus, which strikes a specific area on stage with a massive bolt of lightning. Think of it like a fusion of Inkling's Final Smash with the Bahamut Zero summoned from the Midgar stage. This deals ridiculous damage, but Zagreus has to work to throw his opponents into the lightning's path, which causes an element of risk. Lastly, let's discuss the stage for this game. While there's a lot of potential on this front, I'd have to say my pick is Asphodel, the realm of the just okay. I chose this for a lot of reasons, mainly because it's the realm that's featured in Hades' animated trailer, it's the one that's most clearly recognizable as an underworld, and it houses one of my personal favorite characters, Eurydice. For the stage's unique gimmick, I'd have the layout be randomly chosen from a number of options, with a selectable standard layout similar to Kalos. As for the music, Fraymakers' jazz style might not mix well with Hades' and I quote, Mediterranean prog rock Halloween music, but personally, I think that if we could get a sped up and hypified rendition of Good Riddance featuring the voices of Eurydice and Orpheus, I might just lose my mind. So yeah, that's what I do with Hades content in Fraymakers. Ultimately, as little as this gets talked about, relatively speaking that is, I think it could be ridiculously hype. Thank y'all for watching. Please consider liking, subscribing, ringing the bell, and following me on Twitter, and petting your dog, and wearing your seatbelt, and wearing your mask, and staying hydrated, and staying safe, and taking a nap, because that's what I think I'm gonna do. It really does have an impact on my motivation to make content though, so go ahead and do that stuff, and I'll see y'all in the next video, I guess. Peace out.